a crime drama about the birth of criminal profiling, executive produced by David Fincher. Yes, please.
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
Hey guys, it's G from the F Word here to review for you Mindhunter, the new Netflix show. Now, this is a non-spoiler review. I'll get that out of the way right now. It is a TV show. When you get to it. You've probably passed by it and you're thinking, should I take a look at it? I would say, yeah, take a look at it, especially if you're a fan of David Fincher's work. Now, Mindhunter is based on a crime novel called Mindhunter inside the FBI Serial Crime Unit. This Serial Crime Unit in 1977, the setting, has not really been anything major to the FBI. They never had a unit like this. So two detectives and one academic go on this journey to discover what is it about these serial killers that makes them tick. They go on a series of interviews of these different serial killers to get an idea of where it may have started, what could have been a contributing factor, why do they do the things that they do. They then discover that there is more to it. There is, as they started in the beginning saying, there's sequence killers. There's a sequence of events going on. And then they realize that, okay, well, these are more of a serial nature. They go and they, stalk their prey. There's a certain type. They have certain motives for doing certain things. They have certain victims. And so they're trying to figure out each individual serial killer that they interview, what made them get to this point and what made them do the heinous crimes that they did. And trust me, some of these are bad, gross bad, real bad. So, let's start with the good stuff. The good stuff is the setting is done very well. It's not an in-your-face 1977 world, much like Stranger Things. Stranger Things was in the 80s, and aside from the opening credits and a few music cues here and there, it feels like a natural 80s. It doesn't feel like an over-the-top neon type of 80s show. This is the same thing. For a second, I kind of forgot in some scenes that this was in 1977, but then you notice that they are using typewriters and no one has a cell phone, and they're talking about how cameras could possibly fit in your pocket. We've come a long way. So the setting is one of the big ones. I also like the way that they kind of use this big text to show where they end up going next as a way to show different chapters, much like in a novel. You've seen it before in some other shows. Specifically, you'll find it, if you've seen Civil War, you'll see it just shows boom, location, and it is kind of a chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 type of thing. So I thought that was, a little neat little trick. David Fincher's style is all over this thing, and I couldn't be happier. It's like an LA Noir 7 Fight Club kind of mix with the way that the shots are done, the color that's in them, the tone that they use, the shadowing, all of that stuff. So I really liked it. It really made it feel a little grittier as well. Now, again, when I was talking about the setting, it didn't take away from the setting. It just enhanced it a little bit more, and it really worked for what was going on. So the tone was really good. The actors were well done. Holden Ford was portrayed really well. I'm not knowing who the actual guy is, but I liked his character being that naive type of person that then starts, pushing a little bit further and further in the boundaries, and he thinks everything's fine because he's doing it for the better good, while his partner is, we got to make sure that we're not crossing the line here. And a line was brought up later on in the episode where there is that fine line between insanity and genius, or just that one crossover. As the Joker says, it only takes one bad day. The biggest and number one best thing about this are the serial killers themselves and how they were portrayed, specifically Edmund. My God. So Edmund's character is a 6'4", 5", almost 300 pound or whatever guy, and the second he steps into a room for that first interview with Holden Ford, you just don't feel right. You don't know how the scene's going to play out. You don't know where they're going to end up. Is he going to do something extreme? Who knows? He's very soft-spoken. He's very eloquent. He has a good idea about human psychology. So their dynamic together was really good because he was actually able to bring out a lot more of the naivety of Holden Ford. And also the concept of, well, maybe he's just messing with Ford just to give him something, just because he wants to talk to somebody. There are other serial killers that they have. Edmund is definitely the highlight, and he definitely brings a lot of that tension in there. Some of the things I wasn't a big fan of, there wasn't a lot. The pacing is slower, so it may not be a case of a bad thing. It may just be a case of your style. It is a slow burn. There aren't any action scenes. This isn't a action thriller. It is a psychological thriller. There is a lot of well-written dialogue. So for some people, they may consider it slow. Yes, it may kind of push, like most Netflix shows, to that one episode longer or not. Let's be honest, we binge these shows, so we kind of do it to ourselves. That would probably be the only thing. There's a couple moments with Ford and his girlfriend Debbie in the first episode, I remember specifically, and then there was one more scene kind of in the 5th or 6th episode where it just felt like the dialogue that they had wasn't delivered as good as you'd expect it to be. Felt a little bit choppy and quick. Now, I don't know about, too much about stuff like this. I just watch it like an average person would watch it. So it could be a stylized choice that the directors used for the dialogue to, I don't know, invoke something in the audience or give you an idea, an insight into maybe how quick Ford seems to be and how quick the other people actually are. Should you watch this? I think you should. If you do like this type of show, I think it's definitely worth your time. Like I said, the writing's good. The serial killers themselves are really, really good. There are some pretty, heinous crimes that are told. There's a couple pictures here and there, but it's not that bad. It's not as disturbing as one might think or as I was expecting. However, the stuff that they do say that these serial killers did is really disturbing, as I mentioned before. So yes, I definitely think you should watch it. If I was going to give it a score, I'd probably give it that 8.5, something like that, an 8.3, 8.5. It is a solid show. It is a little bit slower. That David Fincher style oozes everywhere, and I couldn't be happier about it. And so, yeah, I'd say it's worth your time. Guys, thank you so much for watching my review of Mindhunter. Thanks all of you who took a look at Sabura review and commented and liked it. Let me know if there's other shows you guys want us to review, whether they've been around for a while or not. I know Gomorrah has been a popular one, but yeah, I want to thank everybody for kind of getting involved and starting to build our own little community. Hit that subscribe, comment below, hit that like button, hit that little bell. It'll notify you when we got reviews coming up and our main show that we have. Make sure you're following Entertain Facts on Instagram. And again, you can email us at the fwordpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow me on the fwordsg. Almost forgot that there. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. That was my review, and I'm out.